Hey guys, this is Myk again. So this is my episode number 3. I'm here in San Francisco. It's April 12th. It's a quarantine 2020. Stuck at home. Have a couple of challenges I'm actually doing personally. I'm trying to actually do a front splits by the end of the month. I've been practicing that and share some of that stuff on my Instagram. And I've been actually practicing drawing since I am pretty bad at drawing. Never drew when I was younger, and right now I take this opportunity to actually expand a little bit and try to use a little bit of that right brain that people have been talking about. But today, again, I would like to talk a little bit about the book, a couple of ideas that I'm sort of influenced. And yesterday I talked about this book. It's called The Dream Machine. And it's basically about the history of computing, how computers were created. And it's pretty incredible to think how many small details need to be put in place from actually building hardware to how the information should be processed, to how the communication should go in, and how that machine should interact with human beings, and what is the psychology that comes to it. The one interesting idea that actually we seems to forget, and especially Silicon Valley, that we believe that in the tech world and the VC that the sort of enterprise, the private markets is the best way for innovation, and it seems very logical because it's the idea that your innovation, the thing that you're going to create will make you some sort of financial rewards. It's very powerful, and I'm not arguing that it's not working. What I'm saying is that this is one of sort of prevailed wisdoms in the tech community. But what's interesting by reading this book is to realize how much of incredible work and how much of incredible products and innovation and things have been done by the government actually investing in a lot of universities, in a lot of small projects, in a lot of talented individuals, and basically ask them, hey, tell us what you want to build, give us a proposal, write about your vision, what do you see of building, and don't worry about anything else, and we will give you money, no questions asked, and you can use that money, and you can try things, you can build things, and you can report what you have found, and then we'll figure out how this is going to be helpful and useful. And this is a very important point. I believe that when we talk about the society, we talk about the government. There is a lot of talk in the tech community that government is bad, the government cannot efficiently use their resources. But this whole conversation could go in a whole another video about the government itself and why the government actually needed, because the government is a way for us collectively in society to organize. It's a way for us to solve the problems, the problems that none of us, not even private companies, can solve. The fact that we have wealthy individuals coming in and stepping up even in this crisis and try to solve and tries to help is great, and it's amazing, and we should be thankful for that. But we should not rely on individuals, on wealthy individuals, when we have the whole society at stake and well-being of whole society at stake. So what I'm going with that is this. It's super interesting to read about the time where government was investing a lot of resources, a lot of different R&D departments, a lot of different scientists across those scientists actually at the heart of Pentagon to actually be able to drill down on proposals and actually allocate money for those projects. And there were a lot of money that was wasted, but at the end, the thing that succeeded brought us incredible improvement in our lives and increase in our economic benefit for the whole society. So when we think about those type of problems that we have in the future, we should not take away the government And we should not take sort of the idea of combined effort to solve big problems. Yes, and what it's important to understand, and I think we forget that, is yes, you will always have some sort of waste in this type of system. You're always going to have some sort of projects that will get a lot of publicity, public failures, and there's a lot of people going to say, well, the government cannot successfully do that. But what the government has to do is not to build those projects. What the role of the government and society, and it's actually pretty broad, and a lot of people, I think, misunderstand that, is not to for example, build the healthcare themselves. It's about collecting the money that we as a society earn and then spending this money and basically directing the future that we want to see in our society. Because this is the same way that the computers were built, and this is the way that Pentagon was allocating money. They basically said, hey, we want to invest in this computer science and computer networks and everything that comes with it. So let us find those people and let them propose what they think we should be doing, and let's invest in them. And knowing that most of them will fail, and that's okay. But that type of community, that type of approach is what will make a significant impact. So I'm all about thinking of the government as this body that we elect and allow allocate some resources and basically push us as a society for innovation. Because if you look again at this incredible story of how computer was created, is that you might think that, well, IBM was pushing quite a bit of this innovation and the new technology, but what happened is that those projects that was funded by Pentagon in the universities like MIT, like UCLA or Berkeley, those projects, those individuals, those people who had this idea of the vision, how the computer can change our lives and make us more productive, where we can put all the mundane calculation into the computers and really worry about decision making, something that computers were not really good at the time. We can really be creative, we can really be focused on this information as could take up to 85%, at least to some studies done back then. So with that, it's important to understand that there is a role that the government has in this way of enticing and encouraging industry and encouraging people and companies to develop something new, even though there's a high probability of failure. So going back to the IBM story, that you might think that IBM and DEC and General Electric were the ones who were pushing the innovation, but actually they were working and pushed by those scientists that was funded by the government, because they tried to experiment, they know where they wanted to go, then they went to IBM and say, hey guys, we want to do that. You know, some of the stuff that you do with batch processing is not going to work, we need to do something new, and this is how they pushed that industry to innovate more. So not always that the private industry is actually interested in innovation. So there's a lot of innovation that could be done by government supporting projects and supporting scientists and supporting R&D. And let's not forget it, an importance of that approach. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later.